It's Penny here, your host of Bookmarked Conversations. Today, I am so excited to have Damilare Kuku all the way from Nigeria. Last year, I was raving about a book, Only Big Baba Matters Tomorrow, and today I have the opportunity to chat to her about her book and everything else. Let's just get into it. Let's just jump into this episode with Damilare. Hi, welcome Damilare. Thank you so much for being on the show and Bookmarked Conversation. Guys, this is our episode 8 and we are going all the way to Nigeria, to Lagos, to Damilare. Thank you so much, Damilare, for taking time to be in our show today. I appreciate it a lot. I've been trying to find you, and I'm glad today that finally I can actually see you. So thank you so much for making time. I know you're very, very busy, and just this quick time that we have a conversation, about your writing, about who you are, where you're going. There's just so much I just want to find out in these few minutes with you. Okay.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so South Africa, you were recently here last year. You attended the open book event. That was the last time you were here. Okay, so that's my first question. I want to find out in terms of the reading community in Nigeria and South Africa. How is that? How did you find that? Like your fan base here, people reading. How is it comparing to where you're coming from?
So the thing is, in Nigeria, nearly all the men Lagos are mad became this huge hit that I didn't nobody expected it to. I remember I just said to God, please help me, and he did. So I knew, like, how you know that you're not, I don't want to sound like, in the literary space in Nigeria, generally Nigeria, I'm known, and that's good. Yes. But I came to South Africa I didn't know what to expect. Yes. So when I met like such warmth, I was surprised. Yes. I didn't know that, my books were that big over there. I'm telling you, I didn't know. I just thought I'll tell you something. So I was at Open Book Festival, and I went over to a girl, and I said, please, I was trying to find out what she was doing. And then she looks up at me, she's looking at me, and she goes, oh my God, you're Damilare Kuku. And she starts to scream. And then everybody turns to her and they're like, oh my God, you're Damilare Kuku. And I'm like, hi. And, so I think what it is so Nigerians don't try to feed me. So I think I like South Africa simply because you guys are always trying to give me food. Anytime I'm over there, you people are like, we have to have lunch. We have to have dinner. We have to have breakfast. The fans here are like, girl, just come sign books and be on time for the reading. Yeah. I'm not giving you food. So, yeah.
You love Cape Town. You love Cape Town. Yes, I did.
I was still saying to someone 2 days ago, I'm watching the show called African Rich and Famous or something. I love Cape Town. I want to eat, that tabletop mountain? Yes. I want to go there to have dinner. I love Cape Town. I don't think Cape Town's weather loves me, but I love Cape Town. The weather doesn't like me sometimes whenever I'm there in the time when I'm not like good. People say I should come at better times, but yeah, I love Cape Town.
Yes. Cape Town is a place that can inspire you to write something. When you are in Cape Town, do you feel like inspired with the surroundings? It's a beautiful city. So do you feel like you get your inspiration somehow when you were here?
Yes, I hope to be able to. I know that. So I'm going to eventually write about Cape Town because that's how much love I have. But I'm not just going to write about Cape Town. I love South Africa. I need you to understand something. I have so much love.
Love you.
Oh my God. I was just South Africa is my second home as far as I'm concerned in Africa. I love Kenya, but I love South Africa. So I eventually will have to write because of the amount of love I have for the country. Because that's the thing, when I'm truly in love with something or a person, what happens is eventually words will come out of me. So, yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. You do so many things. I see you are in a radio, you are everywhere, producing, directing. How is that coming together, in terms of your writing space? When you are writing, how does that all click together? Where do you find time to do all these things? It's a lot of things you're doing.
So writing has taken pretty much of all my life, like it's taking 80% of my time. So I don't have the time to do these things as much. I do know that. So, and then also the thing is now, because I'm writing a lot, if a script comes and it's not as good as I would like it to be, I probably won't take it because I'm going to just focus on my writing. Mm-hmm. But I also think that all these things I did, from radio to TV, what that did was sort of built me up for this life.
This life, yes.
I think God puts you on a path so that you can do the thing he needs you to do. But you're like, and I also do think that even with this writing, there's a bigger path. If that makes, and I know because this is huge, like how much bigger can it get? But the thing is, I feel like God puts us in different parts of our lives, training us for that end goal. So everything I learned with the radio, I learned with the TV, I'm using it now.
Yes, with your writing. Yes. Yeah. So everything Soma like is connected. Everything connected to where you are even going now. And that's what I want to find out later on. What is the next big thing? What are you currently working on? What can we expect, from Damilare? What's happening?
You people are pressure. You guys are always asking for the next thing. And I not just be in my house sleeping. Can't I just sleep? Okay. Yeah, I have a third book coming out. I don't know when it will come out, but I know it will come out soon. I'm very excited because now that I've come to the South African market and I've felt the love, I can't wait for the third book to come out. I know you probably will get it, before, or maybe when it's coming out, I'll probably let you know. But yeah, so I have a third book coming out soon, and I'm very, very excited about it because it's something that I'm passionate about. So very happy.
Yeah, I was looking, how miserable I was. Now I was checking my shelf looking for your book, for your book. I'm like, where is my book? Where's the pom pom? I'm looking for it. Because normally I will hold my book and show you because I read the book. And now I think somebody must have come in to my studio and borrowed the book because I finished reading the book last year and I was posting about it as soon as I finished reading it. So now I'm running around, I'm looking for it. I'm saying I just wanted to show her my best part of the book where I folded the pages and all those kind of things. By the way, it was I love the book. I was laughing the whole time. It was such an amazing book. It's a lovely book. How did you come up with that idea for that book? To write that book? Is it something that is, affecting a lot? Is it a real thing in Nigeria, or some of it is, How did you come about, coming up with that book?
So it's, I had this idea 10 years ago because, like I said, maybe it's more than 10 years now. The thing is, it had happened to a loved one. She had been bullied online for so many years for her body type. And I didn't think, she's someone I think is really beautiful. I still think she's one of the most beautiful women I've seen in my life till date. But because people would say to her, oh, you're not so attractive, you're so skinny. So that sort of forced her to want to do something to her body that I didn't like, and thank God that we caught it in time. I don't know what would have happened. But what now happened with that was, after that I knew that impact, like I told you, when I love something, I love someone, whether it's a guy or a girl, I carry you in my spirit, if that makes any sense. And that pain that she felt, I carried it for long. So when Nearly Old Men Lagos Ahmad came out and became this huge international hit everywhere in the world, I sort of felt like, people kept saying, what are you going to write? I'm like, who told you I want to write anything else? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm not trying to write nothing. But then I started getting all these emails and DMs of girls and men even, someone sent me a DM crying about how Nearly Old Men Lagos Ahmad changed her life. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to write another book. So, and then I went to God. I said, God, because this title I just did, the Nearly Old Men Lagos Ahmad, do you see how it went viral? help me to come up with a better title. So I started to pray, and then around that time as well, just around the time I started thinking of writing it. You remember that Breonna Taylor story, the Black Lives Matter, the
Yes,
George,
yes, yes.
the cop that killed the black person, the black man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this whole Black Lives Matter, started all over again. So I just kept saying to myself, so the first title for the book was Small Bomb Bomb Must Go. Then I said, but the thing is, this character, what matters to her is getting this body that she desires. So I
Yes.
said, so, I would pray, and then slowly the words started coming to me. And then I had a friend during that time who's also like a lawyer. He was on my legal team at that time. So he was also my creative partner. So I was bounced off these ideas of him, and then eventually came up with that title. And then I started to write the book, and that was it. So I wrote it for like 3 years before, and then it started to publishers now took it up.
Beautiful book. It is a beautiful book. I was raving about it last year as one of my top reads for 2024. So yeah, it's beautiful. I read it, I think maybe 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days. That was it. I couldn't put it down. It was amazing. The social media. I want to ask you on social media. How has it impacted your writing, your books, basically? People talking, how has it impacted you? Because, now these days, everybody has a voice, We all have voices. Everybody speaks. So, and the book world now is so wide, and everybody, we have all these platforms where everybody feels like they have to say something. So how has that impacted you? Like whether negatively or positively, how has that affected you?
I mean, I guess so. The thing is, maybe because after nearly all the men in Lagos are mad, and like I told you, I just I now understand that social media, I have to treat it like the way that it's like this distant relative that you can't get too close to, but you must also relate with, because you are related.
Exactly.
I don't know that. So I'm loved, but I'm hated. I know this. I could wake up and I'm being dragged. I randomly would just wake up and a friend would send me a message. Hey, what did you do on Twitter? And I'll go on Twitter and and I'm like, oh my god, and I just go off. But the thing, my publishers will say, as long as the book is selling, nobody really cares. I do feel like social media are sort of taking me as that writer that they must have an opinion on, and that's okay. I sleep fine at night. I tell people when Nearly Old Men Lagos Ama came out, somebody wrote that's why I'm not married, because I'm writing about mad men. And I was, and I said to myself,
Because you wrote that book, you see now.
And I remember saying to my friends that, oh my God, maybe I should quickly go and marry before this book finally comes out so that they can shut up. But then I realized I didn't care. So I didn't get married because of the social media pressure.
Because of social
I think people say things, we just sit behind our phones and the whole point of writing Bomb Bomb is to say be kinder with your words, because you're writing these things, you don't know what I'm going through. And yes, I might be a successful author, but you don't know what's going on in my personal life, and then you have all these opinions about me and you've never met me in a day. Like maybe you only came for a reading or two of my books. You don't know me personally. The people that know me know who I am, so I don't really, but I also love social media because the people that love and ride hard for me, they ride hard. You don't want to, if my fans are online on the day you come for me and they have time, they will drag you through the mud.
When I was reading about your book, your first book, right? And then I saw that there were so many people who even downloaded it. There was a lot of piracy because people were curious basically of what's in the book. So then what happened? You lost so much money. I think it was your publisher that was writing something about that you lost so much sales that people could have actually got the book the right way. But because of the controversy around your book, it's like everybody in the street just had to read whatever it is that you've written. But still, he was saying that in spite of that, you made a success. You actually made a success in terms of sales for that book. And that's amazing. Congratulations, really.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Can't wait for what you are doing, whatever it is you're doing. I can't wait to see it.
I'm very excited to see what people think about the third book as well. I mean, I feel like I have to now beg people before my book comes out to say, please give my publishers 2 years to make their money back before you pirate it.
yes,
Because Bomb Mom has been pirated
true.
too, and I'm like, what is going on, guys? Don't you understand that when you pirate these books, my publishers don't make money, and that affects me, so it's just
Exactly. Yes, it's your
I would
work.
like for them to give me 2 years per book. Let the book come out, give me 2 years, then do whatever you want. Let my publishers have made their money back. Let them be too also feel like, don't just pirate the book. I mean, by the time Bomb Bomb came out, I mean, it became a bestseller in Nigeria and Ghana. But by the end of the month, I was seeing it in traffic, and I knew that was not it was the pirated copy. And
Yes, that's very
But it's not right. It's not right. But I think the first one would have actually made a lot of sales for you because that one was way too controversial. So I think that one is the one that they made so many copies of. You know, you will have made a lot of money on that one. Ach no man. So I wanted to ask you on the what is your what are your thoughts on publishers? You just mentioned publishing just now. Your publishers. What are your thoughts these days? With self-publishing and the old traditional ways. What are your thoughts? What do you think is actually the best in your view? This is your view.
So Colin Hoover she started as a self-published author, right?
mm, mm,
And she did so well. I
okay.
do think that everyone's journey is customized to their life and what is planned out for them by God. I've always been traditionally published, which is I'm published by publishers. But I have friends who are self-published.
Mm,
I know authors that are self-published and they're doing so well as well. Because
yes,
that money comes straight to you, and
you,
then all you have to do is give out a little percentage. I, on the other hand, get very little percentage, but I'm not complaining because I'm happy either way. I'm
mm,
very happy with, the places I'm in. But I do feel like if you can't take control of your narrative as a creative and you know how to do it properly, then you should.
yes,
Kendrick Lamar was not published he wasn't signed to a label for a while. I don't think everyone's journey is different.
it's
I am
different.
traditionally
Yes,
published
yes,
and I have
yes,
found
yeah,
success in
yes.
that path, but doesn't necessarily mean there's this author, Dudu Nlomo. Do you know her?
Did you, sorry?
Dudu Lomo.
Lumbo, I don't know, met
I
her.
think she wrote The Wife. She's a
Oh,
South African.
did you Busane Dube? Yes, I know. She wrote the wife. Yes,
She's
yes, yes,
she's
yes.
she's she's self-published.
And
And
she's
she does
doing
so
very,
well.
very well. Yes, she's doing very,
Yeah,
very well.
so I think it's, and I remember because they invited me and her to South Africa for something. And, she had said to me, she said, if you can get self-published, I mean, try and get self-published.
Yes,
But she said, because, these things, you have a right to do the things that you want to do when you want to do them. But I also I'm like, okay, because I'm still new, I'm still just sort of finding my feet as a writer. I'm fine with
mm,
somebody else, carrying the headache for now. Let's see, maybe that might not be how I feel in another 4 or 5 years, but for now it's fine.
good night.
For now, yes, yes, yes. And what would you say to, the youngsters that are looking? They know you now. People, like youngsters know you and they want to write. What would you say to them? So that they can be. There are some that aspire to be you. You are growing. You want to do so much more. But here they are. They are looking at you and they are looking at you succeed. That you are a success, and they also want to be like you. So what do you say to those people? They are writing in their own corners, and what do you say to them to inspire them?
Do it with God, but don't stop writing. Do it with God and don't stop writing. I tell people that this career path, because I started it with God, that's
Yes,
why it's gone the way it's gone. I
mm,
don't know. People might say I'm not a Christian. I'm a Christian and I'm going to tell you what I believe in. And then every single day, do not stop writing.
yes,
Don't ever stop writing. Find a job that allows you to write so that you're not financially, stranded. I don't
yes,
want to say whereby you're now compromising your standards as a human being,
yes.
but don't stop writing.
Okay.
Do it and then ask God, please help me. Because you see, the thing, sis, is that when God sees that you don't have anybody, he steps in. And
Mm.
when God takes over a plan, oh my God.
There
Oh
is no
my God.
block. There is no
It's
block.
My next question, that means there is no writer's block. You've never reached that.
what I do. I mean, of course, everybody, I don't know about writer's block per se. I don't know that I have gotten it yet, but
Mm.
I have times when I'm tired. I
Yes.
have times when I'm like, I don't see myself going past this page. But then I have such a community of people who love me. The people that actually, I'm so blessed to have people who actually really love me.
Mm.
There's this thing on Twitter where they say I'm well loved at home. I'm one of those people that I'm loved at home.
Mm.
And I'm blessed because I know that that's not a lot of people's stories. So when I get tired, my mom and my dad, they just sort of, say, hey, keep going, girl, you're doing your stuff. And then of course my siblings, and if I'm in a relationship at that point, the person I'm with is like, oh, keep going, babe, you're doing so well. So I think also because I have a tribe that supports me, my friends are really
Mm.
supportive. Yeah.
That's very nice. So also inspiring young women with your stories. What is that? What is your main character on the book? Temu, is it Temu? What's her name? Temi. Temi. I loved her. I really, really loved her. And the way you portrayed the character, that's how you described her. We really, really, we resonate with the story. I really loved her. And I'm so glad that what you are saying now, that it was inspired by somebody, who wanted to go through that procedure. And I'm telling you, the entire book, I was like, what's wrong with this girl? The way she's described here, but Damilare is explaining her so pretty, she's beautiful. What is wrong? Why is she not seeing that? Why does she want to actually conform to those, like standards? What's going on, And yeah.
The thing is, I also feel like the society does something to women,
Mm.
which is unfair, because the men will tell you, I want you to be curvy. And if you are naturally a slim person, I don't know what miracle you expect her to perform. Some men will say, I prefer a girl that is dark. Some people will say, I like girls that are fair. Listen, I always say to girls, you people are doing too much favor to people, fitting into their standards. What
Yes.
makes you happy?
Yes.
Like, you don't like me the way I am, move on.
Then move on.
Do you know how many people in the
Don't
world are
limit
waiting to
yourself.
love you? You haven't even met half of the people that will love you yet. And you're
Mm.
going to be crying over somebody. And then when a family member says something about your body, just say, I'm not okay with what you said. Start to stand up for yourself. Let people know it's not okay. I might not be your standard of what is beautiful, but I love myself enough.
Yes.
Okay? And so leave
Yes.
me alone. So I don't know.
So it's
That's my...
something.
In Nigeria, is it something that really is what you are portraying in the book? In the book, that people really are, want to change themselves, their bodies like this. It is something that really is happening. Like it's a real thing.
Yes. It's very if you walk 1 mile in Lagos, there are several women that have fixed their buttocks.
Mm, 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 mm.
It's so crazy because it's like a thing. 5, 6 women, there's always somebody with a fake body, so it's really something. It's really, really
So,
something.
so they
And
present
they all don't get
the
fixed by the good
beautiful.
doctors.
Oh wow.
So it's not like the doctors that fix them well. Some of them are really terribly fixed. So it's not the greatest.
Your opinion, what makes a character truly memorable, and how do you create characters that readers can connect with? So when you are writing your books, how do you make sure that your characters will connect to the readers? Like Temi, like when you were portraying her, how do you come up with those ideas, to portray that character in such a way that that character is memorable to us as readers? How do you do that? Do you have a team that helps you? Do you do that on your own? You're writing, are you creative in your own space, or do you have people that you work with when you are writing your book?
Oh no, I write it all by myself, and then that's it. But I think also because I I stick to the truth. So
Mm.
we're at the point in the world now where truth is selling. And so I just happened to have started to write at the time
Yeah.
where truth
It's
started
just
to
on
sell.
the yes.
There was a time fantasy fiction was the craze. I'm not saying people are not still crazy about, but now truth is selling. So you have fiction
Mm.
works that are selling at an alarming rate, like mine, because of the truth in it. And then you have non-fiction as well, because non-fiction I hear does really well in South Africa. So I
Yes.
think it's because I write truthfully. I don't know how to write, I tell people this is how I know how to write. I don't know
Mm.
how to concoct some imagination. I write from what I know, what I've experienced, what I know people I know have experienced. So yeah, maybe that's what.
On facts, basically. You write on facts and truth. Yeah. But I think the readers, it's changed these days. That's what they want to hear. And you are giving them exactly what they want to hear. They are seeing, they know it's happening, and you are not scared to actually bring it out. And then people get excited about that, and then it's making it a success, for you. So it's a good thing. It really is a good thing. So are you still on radio? You still do that, all of that. You still do that, or you're now focusing on your writing?
I still
So
doing it, all of that.
I I don't know. I know that I still am going to get back into the creatives fully. I'm the moment the third book. I don't know my plans. I just know that the third book comes out, maybe I will get into I will do some acting work. Um, but as of now, writing has taken up my life, and I'm very happy with
Hmm.
it because I'm happy. It's a new career path for me, so I'm not it's not stressing me. I'm really, really happy. I'm truly, really, I mean, the only thing I'm really in love with is God, but I'm truly, really in love with writing. So yeah, I also really love writing. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what I wanted to find out also is, what is that one thing that Damilare will want to be remembered with? That one thing that, 100 years from now, you're no longer here. What is it when if you thought about that, like, what, this one thing that I want to be remembered about? What is it? Is it what you were saying just now, that you were telling the truth, is how you're writing, that you were writing on something that's relevant, that's currently happening? What is this that one you want to be associated with 100 years from now? What is that one thing?
I think what I would like to be referred to as is the storyteller
Mm.
who held time with her words and did it fearlessly. Yeah, I think so.
I think that's lovely. That's
Thank
lovely. That's
you.
short and sweet. That's
It's lovely to be married. Okay, so when is your next visit to South Africa? Do you know when is your next visit?
I know I'm supposed to be there this year. We'll see how that goes. But I
okay.
know it will be soon. So yeah, I have to come soon. Obviously, I have to. Like I said, it's a second home to me. I also have to come because of work. I mean, my books come out there now, so I have to come. So I will be there soon. Very excited.
Okay. The book clubs, well, I have a book club. It's Penny's book club. So, how are the book clubs that side compared to South Africa? Do you have all these like small groups of people reading? How is the community there in terms of reading? So, do you have those? Okay.
Yes, we do. Oh, yes, we do. I spend the first 2 months my books are out. I spend the first 2 months doing virtual book club tours.
Yes.
The ones that there's some that even want me to come there physically. I just can't. I'm just like, I cannot, guys. But yeah, I spend majority of my time, because there's so many book clubs. A lot of people read in Nigeria. Nigeria is a reading country, so it's just, and the young minds are so brilliant. So they want to read, they want to challenge you, they want to tell you what they love, they want to tell you what they think you could have done better. So the book clubs are really passionate over here, and they love literature. So
Mm.
Lovely. So, do you see yourself in future branching or taking a different route in terms of the genre that you are writing on? Because you write in a specific genre at this point. Do you see yourself as this versatile writer that will tap into a different genre that you're now writing on? Yeah, do you see yourself as that, or you don't see yourself as that?
So to be honest, I do think that at a point, because I hear the advance that they pay my colleagues that write fantasy, for the money alone, I'm going to swap. I'm joking. Because my colleagues that do fantasy novels, their deals are they are crazy, But I don't know. For the foreseeable future, I'm not sure. But like I can't tell because obviously as a writer, I will grow and I will get
Yes,
better. I imagine in the
Definitely.
next for
definitely,
5 years, the same. I'm not
definitely.
Definitely.
going to be the same writer.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. And look, yeah, and that's what I've heard from most of the writers that I have, have like interviews with, like most of them, they will say that looking back, 5 years ago, and where I am now, it's a whole different game. So you might also, what you're saying is 100%, like correct. So you might be writing on a different, different genre, 5 years from now, and be looking back and be like, you once wrote on what you're currently writing on and the truth and all those things. And I think also the trends also, that's what I was going to ask you, that do you feel like the trends like fantasy, when it was also like the thing, when everybody was reading that, it's because of what the public was looking for at the time? Then the writers, do you feel like the writers will then tend to go to what is going at that time and go right because we all are into the specific thing that's happening at that time?
I don't know that. So I think people write for different purposes.
Mm.
We must learn to respect the different reasons why people choose to put pen to paper, because there are different reasons and the inspirations must be valid. I do think that whatever calls out to people that they feel like they need to write about. Yeah, I know when Nearly Old Men, Lagos and Mad came out, a lot of people started writing about, Lagos and madness and all of those things.
Mm.
When Bomb Bomb came out, I imagine now there are going to be more crazy people coming up with stuff about
It
Bomb Bomb,
has to
soft
be
female.
similar. Okay.
So I don't know. I feel like for me, because I'm also in this field now and I have friends that are writers, I understand it better to say people write what they want to write because of the thing that is pushing them. For you to sit down and say you want to write, there has to be something pushing you. So
Pushing.
we
Okay.
must respect that, most especially, more than anything else. So
Mm.
Yes, I think you made a good point. There must be something pushing you to write, to tell your story, basically. Not just that I want to be a writer. It's so much like as for income, those kind of things. It must be something that's just coming to you at that time. And then you tell your story, whatever it is. And then you'll be successful. And it will be received well by people. So, yeah. So the other thing that I wanted to find out is, so obviously some of the books they get adapted to big screens and those kind of things. Do you see yourself in future, maybe one of your books, even these two that you have, one of them being adapted to a series or something, a movie or something?
yes, if the offer is right, I always tell people that I'm open to. The thing with it is, I sort of, the way I look at these things, I say to people that, um, I I genuinely believe that you have to give me. I think there's a lot. I'm not saying I'm, making a way for younger writers like me who are starting from Africa, but I think that what I say yes to determines what people that come after me get to say yes to. Do
Yes.
you understand? So
Yes.
as much as I'd like that opportunity, it has to be right. And once it's right, yes. Both books are really sensational titles and they're very, they're extremely popular in this part of the world. So I will be down to a deal that works and it shows that I'm valued, of course.
Yes, 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 absolutely. So who inspires you? Like, or who is your role model, rather? Let me put it like that. Who's your role model in terms of writing in the writing space? Who's that author that you look up to and say, you know what? this person, it's somebody that I wish I can be, or in future that I'll be writing like that, or the success that this person has, I wish I can have something similar to that. Who is that person? Whether it's sort of whichever country, who is that person? There must be somebody.
Oh, there are people. So I don't wish for anybody's kind of success because I like my life. I do want to get, like I said, of course, everybody wants more money, but I'm pretty
Yes.
content and I'm happy. But in terms of who I would like, who I admire, I have a couple of writers. I like Kristen
Mm,
Hanna. She wrote The
okay.
Women. In South Africa, I love Trevor Noah's first book. It was,
Okay.
I love it. I'm also Ngugo wa Thiong'o. Love that. Love him so much. I love Danielle Steele. I love Chimeka Garrix. I love Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I love Shade Adeniro. I have a lot of writers. We could go
Lots
on
of
and on.
letters. Oh wow.
Yes,
Okay.
but most of
They're
them are
all
African.
Nice thing is they're all writing on different, as you are mentioning those books, it's all different genres. It's not one specific. Even Daniel Steele, I was not expecting that. South Africa, I think it's safe to say that most of the books written and read by South Africans are biographies and autobiographies. What is that number one genre of books you think are published and read in Nigeria? And what would you like Nigerian readers and writers to start exploring in Nigeria? What is it? Your market in Nigeria. What is that genre, or, that you feel like they should start exploring, that they are not currently?
I would like to see more comic books.
oh wow. Okay. That's
I want more
exciting.
comic
Yes.
books. Give me the Archie and Betty. Give me those kind of books. Yeah,
Give me
that
that kind
that's
of book.
I think we need that as well here in South Africa. I think we do. We really, really do. I think people need to come out of their comfort zone and write something a little bit different. And comic books sounds very exciting. It sounds very exciting. I hope they are listening. I hope writers listening and they can start writing. They can start writing. Okay, so Damilare, thank you so much for your time. I think we said we're gonna keep it at 45 minutes. So thank you so much for making this time to chat to me. And I'm looking forward to meeting you when you are in South Africa, meet you in person.
And
I can't wait to meet you too.
Very soon. And I will be featuring you, like I said, on our edition, the next upcoming edition. So just look out for those emails, and then we will be talking more, about you, your career, and where you're going from the interview that we had today. Okay.
okay. Okay. Thank you.
Bye, babes.
Bye.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Bookmark Conversations. If you like this episode, please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you.